Hello. It's been about 5 years since I did a garden update video. I sort of lost interest because not really anybody was watching them, and I figured I was probably going to move out of that rental place soon anyway, so I not only lost a bit of interest in the videos, but even in putting much effort into that garden, to be honest. But I have now moved house. I've got a much nicer garden, so I thought I'd start again. So here's a little quick tour. So this is my front garden. I shall back off and overlay what it looked like before I moved in. That's a sort of before and after. So you can see before, this front garden part was just lawn basically, with these 3 trees. There weren't really any flowers. The previous owner was quite elderly, so they obviously weren't too keen on bending down to put in loads of flowers, so they concentrated on all these baskets, a better height for them. So I decided to turn this lawn area into a bit more of a pollinator zone, a bit more colourful. So pretty much everything you can see here is what I've planted in the last 5 months or so. Let's go through what we've got. So we'll start up here, and this thing, let's get my shadow out of that. This thing is the first thing I planted really. I'm a bit obsessed with these things. I'm not sure if they'll actually work, but we'll see. It's an Echium pininana, or Tower of Jewels, or Giant Viper's Bugloss, which is from the Canary Islands, and it's going to, next year or maybe the year after, believe it or not, it's going to become 2, 3, maybe even 4 meters tall. Massive spike of flowers. I shall put on screen. And yeah, it's the sort of thing that you see quite a lot around Devon and Cornwall, not so much elsewhere in the country, because it needs the sunny climate and lack of frost in winter and so forth. These things are Puya venesta, which is a Chilean coastal purple puya. So they take about 10 years before they flower, but when they do flower, they have a rather crazy looking red purple sort of spike, a metre or 2 tall, and that kind of gives you the vibe in a nutshell, I think, that I'm looking for here, which is to be full of exotic looking stuff that looks like it shouldn't possibly grow in this country, but it does, because I'm in one of the sunniest and mildest places in this country. This is a verbascum, self-seeded thing, not doing very well because of the extreme lack of rain we've had. Don't think it's rained for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, very long time. So you can see the lawn's completely yellow, but never mind about that. This thing is a Caprosma tequila sunrise. Very colourful foliage. It's actually less colourful than when I bought it. It was almost every colour under the sun when I got it. It's bright yellow bits, bright orange bits, dark red bits. It's sort of become a bit more uniform now. This is a Gypsophilia. Haven't planted yet, as you can see. Here we've got a canna, tropical bronze scarlet or something, I think it's called, can't remember, I'll put it on screen. Next to it we've got Nymphophia. Again, as you can see, haven't planted it yet. That's a red hot poker. Here we've got a rather sorry looking penstemon, sort of more horizontal. them vertical, as you can see if I come round from this angle. Then we've got some alliums, they're just starting to flower now. And then next to it we've got this, what's it called, coreopsis. So I just planted that 2 days ago. As you can see, it's very popular with the bees and butterflies, which is a good result. Another allium. Then I come around here. This is a sea holly, and these sort of yellowy leaved things are also sea hollies, different cultivar obviously. And then in the back here we've got a globe thistle, so lots of blue flowered spiky things in this corner. Here we've got a lupin, and this thing, believe it or not, is called a gay feather, Kansas gay feather. It's a Liatris spicata, I think, don't quote me on that. Behind that we've got some purple toadflax, which until yesterday was actually here on the front edge of the path, but I transplanted it because I'm aiming to do what gardeners are sort of supposed to do, which is have the border sort of go upwards diagonally. So this sea holly is a dwarf variety, which isn't going to get much taller than it already is. In front of that I'll have something like snow in summer, hopefully, so just ground cover, 2 centimetres tall. Then these other sea hollies should get to about 1/2 metre. The lupin and the gay feather should get to about 70 or 80 centimetres. Globe thistle should get to about 1 metre. And then you've got this toadflax at the back, which is already about 1 metre. So hopefully we'll get this escalation in height. Down here there's not really that much to write home about. This thing, let's get my shadow out of the way. I don't know what this is. Self-seeder, possibly just a weed. My mum said she thought it wasn't a weed and it was a desirable ornamental flower of some sort, but that was when it was smaller. And it hasn't really done anything interesting yet. It looks like it might be just about starting to flower. So I'll wait and see what it looks like. Might replace it if it's boring. Might leave it otherwise. Here we've got some daisy looking things that are clearly gone over. They were quite nice a while ago, not so much anymore. Self-seeded again, I think. Here we've got some foxgloves that have gone over. I don't really like foxgloves, so I may very well replace them in the fullness of time, but no point getting rid of them just for the sake of it until I've got anything to replace them with. We've got some, what I think are begonias, just popping up, which again I had nothing to do with, they're just planted by the previous owner, I assume. More toadflax. So yeah, the plan is basically just pack this whole border alongside this path out with colourful pollinator friendly stuff, and then have the border running all the way along the front as well. And this rubble, if you're wondering what's going on with that, I want to have a rockery, so sort of from where the verbascum is, behind, you know, this row of the echium and everything, have a rockery sort of swooping around there, curving around this tree, curving behind the counter. A very nice organic swoop of rockery. And I want it to be, you know, a couple of feet high, and I don't want to have to pay for enough fancy rockery stone just to build up the height that I want. So this was someone round the corner doing a bit of renovation. Thought I'd pinch some of their rubble so that I could build up the bank without paying top dollar. Put that in and then cover it with nice looking rockery stone. I say pinch, obviously I went and asked them if they minded, and they said it would save them paying for the skip, so I was doing them a favour. So yes, obviously I'm not a nasty little thief. So yeah, that's the front garden in a nutshell. And then we come round here, we've got pergola. This is a grapevine in the foreground, and there's a wisteria behind it, and then it leads through to the back garden, but I'll show you that another time. That's all for now. Cheerio.